Well, why change is a really good question, because it's not one question. Change what? I'd want to ask. Is it change what I'm doing as a teacher? Is it helping learners change what they're doing? Is it changing the spaces? Is it changing the way we lead? Is it changing the way that we work together as teachers? All of those things are key. One of the challenges at the moment is that people think about simple aspects of change. Like they look at something changing like two teachers perhaps working as a team, and they think that's change. Well, why would you be doing that? That's what we've really got to think about. And so what I'd like to say is that when we're thinking about change, we ask, what are we trying to improve? If I'm trying to improve learning, which has to be my constant bottom line question, I'm not going to change anything unless it's going to actually improve learning. Some of the most challenging things for people is the hard thing that's really challenging is that they tend to focus on changing things. So, for example, there's been, but in New Zealand there's been a bit of a MLE focus. We're having an MLE, and so I said, well, what is an MLE and why do you need an MLE? So they're the important questions. Right? It's not focusing on the thing, but rather thinking about what is it that I could do differently that would help all my learners learn better. And if that means changing the environment in which we work, well then change it. But don't just do it because it's something you've seen somewhere. It has to be something that's really, I've got to be able to demonstrate why I'm doing it and what difference it's making for learning. So if I think about why change for learning's sake, when we most adults went through education themselves, the world was still pretty much an industrial era, which means we were on about hierarchies and being told what to do in your job, and we weren't really expected to be creative or to manage things for yourself or to take responsibility for what you were doing. Your boss did that. Well, if you look at what's going on in the knowledge era and the knowledge economy, it's totally different. It all depends on creativity and learning and managing yourself and being able to collaborate and work with others. And so if I am not helping young people learn to do that at school, then I'm not actually doing what they need. I'm not helping them do what they need to do for being able to work and thrive in the world that we're already entered into. You can see it. I don't think there'd be any parent who you may be working with who would think that their work world is the same as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Sometimes I'll hear people say that, well, why should we change? We're getting good results. And I'll say, well, results for what? Because the traditional academic results we've always been after and still need to be after, like we absolutely need literacy and numeracy skills. But on top of that, there's a term we're using in South Australia called results plus. So yes, we want high literacy, high numeracy, high NCA results, but along with that, we need to develop a whole lot of capabilities, or in New Zealand terms, key competencies, that will mean that I've got the skills and capabilities, competencies to be able to work in the world of work today. I think we've got to be careful of not thinking either or. People tend to think, well, if you're going to change to something else, then you must not begin to worry about literacy and numeracy anymore. Well, actually, we really are worrying about literacy and numeracy, but on top of that, we're worrying about making sure that the students are developing the competencies they need to thrive in today's world.